What's up, you all? Welcome to the real Saturday Night Live. What's up, Aaron Rose? Um, Anybody else on there I can see? I see Aaron on there. What's up, beautiful Ghanaian? Anyway, what's up, YouTube? I had something happen to me. Not happen to me, but so on Thursday night, hold on. What's up, Proverbs 31 woman? What's up, Zoom 7K? What's up, Ashley? What's up, Neat? What's up, Cons with the Queeze? So on Thursday, I had to use the bathroom. I'm just telling you all, I had to use the restroom. And I went there the first time, somebody was in there. So I left out and I came back. I went in there a second time, somebody was in there, and so I'm at the gym. And so I'm coming out, or no, I'm going in to use it. And there's a guy coming out. He has a whole bunch of bags in his hand. So I opened the door for him. He says, thank you. And he, proceeds to go change by the locker rooms. And so I go in there, I look, I'm like, man. So I come back out and I go to the mirror. I walk this way, but I turn around. You kind of feel something behind you or see something. I turn around and there's a guy on the ground and I thought he was trying to stretch. It looked like he was trying to stretch at first. But then I looked and I was like, oh, it looks like he's having a seizure or heart attack. So I go over there and I'm like, and I see him, breathing. But the guy comes and he said, I think he's having a seizure. So I don't, like, as soon as I went over there, guy came around the corner and he said, I think he's having a seizure. He said, it'll pass and calm down. I was like, okay. Another guy came. I was like, well, should I pick him up? The other guy was like, nah, don't touch him. I was like, okay. The other guy I talked to at first went to the front desk, told him to call 911. And so we're there, but now I'm seeing, it's like he's trying to catch his breath. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's, it's calming down because the breaths are getting, whatever. And so, but in my mind, I'm thinking, this isn't a seizure. In my heart of hearts, I'm thinking it's a heart attack. So, the guy, he's like taking these long breaths that are spaced out. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me set him up. So I saw he take a breath. I said, let me get him up. But when I got him up, he wasn't breathing anymore. And so the guy said he had like a faint pulse. But then he checked it again and it wasn't there. And so I was trying to check the pulse, feel nothing was there. So at this point, he's not getting the oxygen in. And so I tell him get the defibrillator from up in the front. By the time I came back with the defibrillator and put it on him, the paramedics come in, they cut it off. Long story short, CPR time. But long story short, he died. And that's the fourth encounter at that gym that I've had. 3 times the person died, the people died, and 1 time they lived. The 1 time the person lived was I was walking past the well, let me go back. So the guy is, I'm picking him up and I'm praying for him. Because in my heart of hearts, I feel like that he's gone. This is just in my spirit, I feel like he's gone. I honestly do. I feel like he was dying. I feel like he was dead. And I say that because I don't know if y'all could have saw it. I don't know. Anyway, So his wife was there, and they eventually brought her in. But so the guy, eventually, you know, they take him out, but I know he was dead. But again, that's like my fourth encounter at that gym where somebody died. Three times the people died, and like I said, once the guy lived. The guy that lived, I was walking past the sauna, and there was a guy in the sauna, and he's laid out on the ground, passed out. So you know, people do weird stuff in the sauna. So I kind of double taking. I was like, I opened the door, and say, "Hey man, you all right?" He didn't answer, and then I could see on his back where his skin was peeling up because it was burning. So I drug him out, and you know, I asked somebody to bring me some water, and I poured some water on his head, and he kind of, you know, came to. But that's been the only time a person actually lived. Other three times, guy died. All three of them heart attacks. Other guy, we tried to do CPR. He came in from running outside when it was real cold. He came in, fell down, peed on himself. You know, he was breathing, throwing up. Just, you know, he ended up dying. Another guy, this is going to be a weird one. I don't go to Gold's Gym. I go to LA Fitness. The one guy, I came to the gym late to hoop on a Saturday morning. And this guy's played in the, he played for Clemson. He played in the NBA. I can't think of his name right now, but when, you know, you say what's up to everybody. When I was walking past him, I said, "What's up?" I walked past him. When I dapped him and looked up at him, his face looked like, I can only say like a demon. That's all I can say is like a demon. His face, it didn't look like his face. It looked like it was a mask over his face. And I was like, and I was looking at him crazy, but he wasn't looking at me. It was weird. But I'm like, his face it looked like a monster on his face. It did. And so he ended up going to the back, and a couple other guys I know went to the back. And when he went to the back, guess what? He fell out. He fell out. They thought he was dehydrated. Gave him some water. He said he had been drinking the night before, all this stuff. So he got up, they got him together, and they ended up walking to the car to go get a smoothie. They were in the car, you know, they all got their smoothies in the car, and they heard his smoothie hit the ground. Turned around, he was having a heart attack. They drove to the nearest fire station, but again, he died. So I have 4 encounters with 4 different people. One person lived, the other 3 died from a heart attack. I just tell you all these stories just to say that life is precious. This guy, I just held a door open for this guy. He just told me thank you, and he was dead. Like, it was that fast. Like, so I was able to pray for him, but I mean, I wasn't able to save him. But I'm just saying that life is precious, and just in an instant, it might be your time to go. His wife came into the locker room, and she was looking, but she didn't really look shocked. Or, I don't know. The EMTs asked her, "Does he have a medical issue?" She was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what is it?" She was like, "Diabetes," and she said some other stuff. But I imagine she was in shock seeing her husband on the ground. But anyway, I don't know. I just think that life is precious, and in an instant, you know, it can all be over with. So it's why it's very important to make sure that we are being who God wants us to be. And I thought about the seriousness of this. I thought about even to be in the right spirit to deal with people, even to have the right countenance, even to have the right compassion. You got to be around the right people to even like, think about it. You can't be around folks draining your energy. You can't be around folks making you bitter. You can't be around folks that all have you stressed. Like, think about what I'm telling you. Like, your life has to be preserved because you have a higher calling. The Bible says that many are called, but few are chosen. And few are chosen because few answer the call. And so your countenance, your spirit, everything has to be in line, because you never know when you may be the last person. Think about it. The last person he saw was me. This was an Asian guy from some country in Asia. Just think about the last. If you would have told him as a child, the last guy you're going to see is this kind of guy, the melanin guy in America at the gym, he wouldn't believe it. But the last person he saw, think about that, was me. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm just saying that's how precious life is. It's just like you just never know. So I don't know. Part of me is like, I'm sad that he died, but part of me was like, I'm glad I was there with him because at least I cared. I didn't want him to die. I mean, at least I was there, but I don't know. But I'm just going to say that life is precious and you never know. Treat folks with respect, treat people with love. You never know. You may be somebody's only encounter with a godly person. I'm just saying, like people, they may have a horrible life, and then one day they meet you and you ask them how their day is, change their whole life. Like, or you open a door for them, or you grab something. I don't know. You just do something kind for them, and it may change their whole outlook on life. My barber messed up my. You see this? Yeah. Anyway, but you never know. You may be somebody's, angel. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of situations where people are on the brink of, committing, unaliving themselves, and they find hope with a gesture that somebody did. You never know. I mean, the Bible talks about you may be entertaining angels unaware, so I don't know. But I will say this, that the guy, even though he did, go, leave this earth, he was surrounded by folks that cared. I can't say that because folks in the gym really. So I mean, I don't know if that's any solace in situation that he didn't go out just alone on a cold gym floor by himself. Like he went out with people actually loving, not I guess loving him and caring about him. Yeah. Yeah, Wanda Sykes, the comedian, just passed away. And again, people forgot, those snake bites. People forgot they took them because there's been so much propaganda that, people forgot they took them. And so people are just running around here like they just, no, you got something that you in your body need to rectify. Tierra Barnes said, I read Psalms 90 this morning. Yeah, Wanda Sykes is gone. Yes, I just saw it. Wanda Sykes passed away. I'm going to get to these scriptures, y'all. But, it kind of, I don't know how to say it, but I don't know. It just made me think about life when I saw the guy because I had just spoke to him and it was just like, maybe if I didn't just speak to him and it just happened that fast, but I don't know. It kind of had me feeling some kind of way because it was just so fast. I was just like, dude just smiled at me and he was gone. Like, it's crazy. But again, life is precious and we owe it to God to be a beacon of hope for these people on the earth. Hebrews 13 and 2 says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So you never know, that might be your test. You just don't know. So we should always be, my bad. I'm sorry, Neek. Not Wanda Sykes. I'm sorry. Wanda Smith. I apologize, y'all. Not Wanda Sykes. Forgive me. Wanda Smith. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Yes. So let's get started. You know, I said Wanda Sykes, y'all. My bad. Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I just be thinking about. I was thinking Wanda, the comedian, Wanda. I don't know. Wanda Smith. My bad, y'all. The one I started to say the one that Cat Williams roasted. But let's get started.
Stockholm syndrome, that American dream gone. Choice cuts for the rich while the middle get the bone. Lower class is lucky to even manifest the marrow. Can't keep your eyes on the prize when it's always on the sparrow. See, civil conversations come from speaking to civil people. That man don't have a plan, so his dance is to speak evil. We don't want to see the country burn. We want to see the country learn that love and integrity is what makes the world turn. Not spite, not the stripping of rights, not immoral behavior from a so-called savior. They say they want to ban books and censor history to protect children. But they don't want to ban the laws that allow children to get guns to shoot up buildings. They don't want to ban the guns that allow civilians to commit mass killings because they're more concerned with overturning the reproductive rights of women. At this point,
One of the downfalls of society was letting black people have access to a microphone.
I look at America and ask what's needed. It needs care, it needs comfort, it needs feeding. We need peace, we need growth, we need healing. We need women. We need trust, we need change, we need promise. We need someone in that office to be honest. We need examples for our sisters and our daughters. We need Kamala.
The reason why people are talking crazy to black men is because this is the stage that black men have set. Black men have abandoned the standard of God. And so when people look at them, they don't see these so-called kings and gods. What they see is a helpless child. I was working doing security last night, and it was a mixed crowd. This artist, his name is, I don't want to say his name, but it's this artist. The artist is white. He's a white rapper, one of these new age rappers, and the crowd is mixed. White and black. A lot of young people there. But I noticed before this artist came on, I noticed that imagine two groups of people coming together. Now, the left would say that is an example of unity. These people in an establishment enjoying themselves, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, all in there having a good time. But if you listen to the music, what are they coming together on? What is the premise? The premise is you all are coming together listening to music that promotes the death and destruction and damnation of the black community. That's what's bringing you all together. Not business, not humanity, charity, not any of it. What's bringing you all together is the death, destruction, and damnation of black people. I'm listening to these songs being played. I'm looking at all of these young people know the words, all races. I'm looking, I'm like, the songs are talking about either if you're a woman being a whore, if you're a man being a murderer and a whoremonger. All the songs, and they know every word. I'm like, my goodness, this is their common ground. Their common ground is the destruction of the black community. And the left would say, this is what it should be. I'm like, no, this shouldn't be. They're not coming together over anything. Think about it. When the liberals, libtards, bliggities, and all of them come together, when is it ever under a righteous cause? It's never. Ever. I don't know. It's not really it's not a club, it's an event space. Not a club, it's an event space. So like the place has, events. Either it's not a club, though. It's not a club. But my point is that these people's common ground was death, destruction, and damnation, specifically towards black people. But let's continue. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. So the reason why everybody feels so comfortable to tell black men what to do is because everybody believes that black men don't have the self-governance to lead themselves to a righteous place. Black women don't believe it. White liberals don't believe it. The media doesn't believe it. Nobody believes that the black man can make a decision on his own that's going to reap a good harvest. Nobody. That's why everybody's always trying to tell the black men how to think and what to do. But guess what? This isn't racism. This is the bed that black men have made, because black men abandoned their post a long time ago. If you want to go back, we can go back to it. When black men started during the 50s and 60s, when black men started making excuses, when black men started listening to either communists, listening to communist professors, listening to communist black people, listening to people fighting against it. When the black man turned his eyes from God and turned it towards the world for a solution, that's when his downfall happened. So when you think about it, black men ushered liberation theology into the church. Black men ushered communism into America, full swing. Black men made communism commercial in America, I should say. So black men ushered in the crack era. Black men ushered in gang culture. If you think about it, since the 50s, black men have been responsible for a lot of destruction in America. And we can go to the music, to the culture, everything. And so at this point, people may say this stuff on TV, but you hear how they really feel when it comes down to them and a black, when it comes down to a black man having to be tasked with an important decision. Now you see the truth come out. If it comes to him playing sports, they're cool with that. If it's making music, they're cool with that. If it's acting, cool with that. Going to school, cool with that. But if it comes to that black man making a decision that could potentially affect the country, that's when you hear their true thoughts about black men. And to be honest with you, they don't think very highly of black men. They don't think very highly of black men, but yet, why would they? What have black men done in the past 60 years that warrant someone to think highly of them? If you talk to the average black man now, he believes that he's a victim of racism. He believes he's oppressed. So if the average black man's mind goes to oppression, then how is he going to be productive? He's not going to be. Because the alleviation from oppression comes from God. The Bible says that sin oppresses. My bad, Leatherface. Nas did make Illmatic. It's a classic. Outkast made ATLiens. Outkast made Stank On Ya. So yeah, I mean, it's been some classics. It's been some classics. Somebody's on Instagram. He says nothing he says is positive about black people. Now, I would say this: black men can rectify the situation. You know, if black men stop making excuses, this turns around tomorrow. But that will require the black men to look at itself for the solution. In other words, God's given us the abilities to succeed. It's up to us to succeed. God's given us the keys. We got to unlock the door. So the black man can turn it around, but it's going to require him to be uncomfortable, meaning that he can't point the finger at another man. Any man with an excuse is not fit to lead. Any man with an excuse is not fit to lead. There is no man out there that is the source of your problems. No man. You are a summation of your choices. You are a summation of your choices. So if I ask somebody what's happening in their life and they point to somebody else, I know he's talking to Satan. Because Satan is the accuser of his brother. All you all getting on TV and getting on social media, indicting all these white people you don't even know, that's satanic. Because Satan is the accuser of his brother. That is a satanic action, to get on a platform and condemn some people you don't know for something they didn't do. So the reason why they're talking crazy to black men is because black men have made this bed. Black men took the social gospel over the gospel. Black men took self-ingenuity, took communism, socialism over self-ingenuity. The black man chose lust over a family. Think about crack being sold in a neighborhood, and when it comes time to rectify the situation, they blame white people. Think about black men leaving the household, and when it comes time to rectify the situation, they blame white people. If you look at any situation where black men were grossly out of pocket, the solution was always to blame white people. So to me, it makes sense that 60 years past the civil rights movement, we see this, where nobody respects black men. Nobody. They may want to sleep with you. They may want you to make them some money. They may want you to dance, rap, sing, and play sports. But deep down inside, they don't really respect you. And it's evident. For these folks to get on TV and tell you how to vote, for these folks to get on TV and tell you that you're not allowed to have an issue with Kamala's policies. The only reason you don't want her to be president is because she's a woman. So in other words, what you're saying is that black men are stupid and they don't like women. That's the gist of the message. The gist of the message is you don't have the right to hold Kamala Harris accountable when it comes to policy. So shut up on that. Then the second thing is you only don't want her to be president because she's a woman. So what they're telling black men is that you're stupid and you don't like women. What would give them such an idea? What would make these people feel so comfortable they can talk to you all like this? I'll tell you. Because a long time ago, you all turned your eyes from God and you turned it towards Satan. And so now those chickens are coming home to roost. Right, Tierra. Obama even went as low as to say she went to the same school as you all. Then he lied and said she grew up like y'all. Well, first of all, how is that growing up? Is it middle class? Is it upper middle class? How did she grow up like y'all? What's the y'all? She grew up in Montreal. That's a fact. He grew up in Hawaii and the Philippines. That's a fact. So what's this how y'all grew up? How do black people grow up? Most of my family's in the middle class. Vast majority of my family live middle class and above. So I'm trying to figure out what's this how black people live, because Kamala left the U.S. at the age of 12 and went to Montreal. She was in Montreal from 12 to 19. Upper middle class, rich. In Montreal, Canada, where they speak French. So I'm trying to figure out, how did she grow up like y'all? How? She was in California when she was growing up. From the ages of 1 to 11, she stayed in California and the Midwest, several states. Her parents were professors. She didn't stay in she wasn't in no poverty. Or y'all, she didn't grow up in no hood. Are y'all crazy? She didn't have no struggle. So again, Obama lied. But again, I've already said this. In order to endorse Kamala Harris, you're going to have to tell a lie. That's how Satan set it up. Satan set it up because all the information is on her out there. It's out there. So in order to support her, you got to lie about what's out there. You got to lie about the truth. She's the perfect person to usher in the Antichrist. Because you all see everything she is, but you still ask for Barabbas. You see everything that she is, and you still ask for Barabbas. Let's continue. Let's continue. Oh, man. Dang it. I thought I had a... Shoot. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I added it. My fault. I'll think myself sometimes trying to, I was out thinking myself. I got it. It's in here. Now, Obama, let me get to Obama real quick. If I can find that.
You're thinking about sitting down or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Now, Obama you know, and really what this tactic is called reverse psychology, where he's telling the world why black men don't want to support her. He's not asking, he's telling them. But really, this isn't for black men. This is for the people around black men to shame them. So if you notice, the theme is you don't like women, you hate black women. So that's so the themes, what they're doing is they're planting seeds with the public to pressure black men to make the decision to vote for Kamala Harris. He knows he's lying. Like, he knows it's because of her policies. People know this. So to get around that policy issue, they said, we're going to tell the world that you all are doing this because you don't like black women. You don't want to be led by a woman. But guess what, Mr. Hussein? I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because
I want you to listen to Barack Obama's fake accent. So you notice this is a playbook for these Marxists and communists, where they say you got to speak what they call jive talk. Hey man, what's happening, blood? You know, back in the jive talk era. You jive, you sucker jive turkey. Hey man, lay some skin on me. That kind of talk. They use that kind of talk to infiltrate the Bliggities. It's not hard infiltrating the Bliggities. If you want to infiltrate the black church, all you got to do is say, I love Jesus. They're going to say, oh, come on down. Oh. If you want to get infiltrate the black conscious circle, just say, I don't like white people. Oh, come on down. It's easy. It's not difficult, because being black is very surface level and carnal. Nothing deep about it. The only thing deep about being black is psychological programming. The psychological programming is what's deeply ingrained, but the actual being black part is very surface level. Hey man, give me 5. Hold on, they be like, hey brother, give me 5 on the light hand side. Nah, brother, give me pound on the side that's brown. All that kind of stuff you was able to get into the black community. It wasn't no espionage, talking with an earpiece, his coordinates over here. I gotta go undercover. Ain't none of that happening. It ain't a James Bond movie. All you got to do was do the walk and the talk, and you was able to get right in the front door. It's sad. It's sad. It's just that easy to infiltrate the black community. It don't take nothing. You know, the James Bond movie, he got to get the mission requirements, the coordinates. He got to jump out of a plane, side of a mountain. You know, Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. This message is going to self-destruct. Like, when you got to infiltrate something, it's harder for white people. Black folks, all you do is yell out, I got some of that za, smoking that za. Sad. I can't stand these white folks. Man, come on, let them in, let them in, let them in. I guarantee you can go to most secret societies where you got to knock on the door and a guy slide that thing open. What's the password? I guarantee I hate white people will get you in 90% of them. The other 10%, other 5%, we kings and queens, and the last 5% we gods. You say them things, them 2-3 things. I hate white people. We kings and queens, and we gods. You can get into most secret societies. What's the password? I'm conservative. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. Right, Neek. Neek brought it in the Malcolm X movie. Get your hand out of my pocket. That kind of, listen, that man said, get your hand out of my pocket, and the whole crowd looked at him. He had the whole crowd mesmerized by some jive talk. Whole crowd. Malcolm got shot. Think about the smoke screen. It wasn't no smoke bomb. Like Batman might throw a smoke bomb and disappear. hit that little gun with the little steel rope on it and zoom away. Spider-Man might, you know, spin the web. Superman might fly away. To get the black folks distracted, get your hand out of my pocket. Get your hand up. Everybody look this way. Malcolm gets shot. It's sad. It's sad. And I ain't making it up. Y'all know it's true. What's up, Miss Reed? Let's play it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all, thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
This the guy that wants y'all to do what's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all, thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing.
I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for all he do. You know, I just want to say I appreciate Puff Daddy, because Puff Daddy, that's my boy, man. Puff Daddy, you know, Puff Daddy, that's my boy, man. You know, that's my boy. You know, we go way back, you know.
Doing the kinds of work that he's doing.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all, thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool.
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
If he was wearing them fancy designer clothes he designing, he'd be sweating just like me. Y'all give me the vote, so I can speak like y'all when I need to. Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. Hey, hey, no Diddy, hey, no Diddy, no Diddy, hey, the diddler, the diddler, the diddler. No Diddy with 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 the diddler. Let's continue.
On the Highline Chronicles. Y'all know I'm very political. And so I'm going to talk politics for a second.
Thank you, Miss Reed. Thank you, Miss Reed.
Undecided about what? Undecided about what? That's
Billy Porter. You know what I'm saying? Billy Porterhouse State. He think, listen, he be looking in the camera like he really slaying. What they say, slaying? Like he's eating, like he done ate. He got this little raggedy wig on his head. This thing is sewn together with squirrel tails. This raggedy wig, but he be looking in the camera like he really got it like that. Like he be looking like, man, you like a straight up crackhead. And he running around with the package.
That's all I'm going to say. Pull y'all shit together. It's democracy or not. And we all know that. It's democracy or not. They saying the quiet part out.
Why do y'all only get the top part of y'all veneers, like the top rack of veneers done? The top rack of the teeth look white. like ivory and the bottom like rotten bananas. Why don't y'all get both sets done? Because it looks crazy because the top is all white and then the bottom is like rotten bananas. It's like you got a nice neighborhood right here and then right next to it is the projects. Like it look crazy. His mouth is like segregation. His mouth is like the top part of his mouth. The top part of his mouth is the suburbs, and the bottom part of his mouth is the hood. This is crazy.
Allowed now, when people show you who they are, believe them and believe them the first time. We did not. Many people held their noses and voted for him. People who know better. Twice, some of them. And now they writing books.
Like Billy Porterhouse Steak is looking like them ratchet, like he looks ratchet though. Like he look ratchet. It's that wig. I don't know what that is, man. Them braids, I don't know what that is. But it's dirty blonde. He talk about white this and white that, but he got dirty blonde. I don't even know what that is, man. Wildebeest hair. I don't know what that is on his head, but it's dirty blonde. He got dirty blonde hair in his head. He's trying to look like a blonde. Now, you know he likes the, white man, as his ex-husband is white. So, his affinity is towards white. So he's trying to be a ditzy blonde. Like, I don't know what he's trying to, I don't know.
Now they scared, they writing books. And you know who they are. I'm gonna name names later. I'm trying to not. I'll name names later. I'm trying to be nice today. But y'all know who I'm talking about. You people in positions of power let this happen. You held your noses and you voted for that man. Some of you twice. And now.
Yeah, remember this one? Think about everybody lecturing you to vote for Kamala and tell me which one of them has great character. Out of all these folks telling you to vote for Kamala, who has great character? Oh, he does like men a lot. Every time he walks into an establishment, all you hear is, Arby's, we have the meats. Every time he walks in somewhere, that's what you hear. But you see him kissing Joe Biden's hand. Now, how low you got to be to kiss Joe Biden's hands? Now, listen. You may not know where my hands have been, but you sure don't know where Joe Biden's hands could be anywhere. Joe Biden's hands could be, listen, my hands could have been anywhere too, but Joe Biden's hands definitely could have been anywhere. We know that. Kissing Joe Biden on the hand. He lecturing you all about who to vote for. He's lecturing you all about who to vote for. You won't be able to name one person that's telling you to vote for Kamala Harris that has good character. Arby's, we have the meats. Let's continue.
We thought it was a joke.
Listen.
That's what we thought it was a joke.
If we really want to go through and we talking about feelings over policy, we had no new wars. We brought all of the American troops home. He renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement that Clinton put in place to have all of your jobs going overseas in the first place. He got the tariffs against China that Biden still got in place today while they're sitting there talking about it's going to raise the cost of living. He literally invested in HBCUs. That's a fact. He worked with Tim. He worked. No.
You just don't sit here and tell that story.
No. Listen, no, that's not a story. That's a fact.
The Biden administration did the same thing. So
but it's not something that's I'm taking against.
They quit to talk about what Biden didn't do for black people.
You still trying to compare and contrast. What I'm trying to say is these are the things that he did in office. When he left office, inflation was at 1.2%. 1.2%.
You do understand it takes 8 years
because of the rules. Because it was at 1.2% because of the rules that Obama put into place.
That's not true. Listen. How do you have more immigration into this country, which is estimated at 15 million people coming in here, than any other time during our lifetime?
I got one. We wouldn't have all of that in place if Trump did what he said he was going to do and build the wall.
No, that's not.
Imagine, now this is, the average queen is this. The average queen is combative, unruly. She doesn't know much. She's emotional. She runs the show. This woman right here in the pink dress is married. I don't know who her husband is, but I know he's a simp. I know he's a spineless gummy bear. I know he is. This one in the pink, she's married. But this is the queens. Anton is speaking facts, and these women are just yelling out emotion. They don't know what they're talking about. This is why I say the reason why they talk so crazy to black men is because black men have already tapped out. Could you imagine dating these women? Can you imagine this? Can you imagine dating or marrying these women? He's already defeated. If what you're saying is true about this quote unquote inflation, which she said it takes 8 years, then that means the inflation should be good now because it's been 8 years. If Obama put all this stuff in place, then it should be good now. Why is it not good now? It's been 8 years. Why didn't they take what Trump was doing and propel it forward? Joe Biden said that Trump handed him over the economy in shambles. That's a bold-faced lie, and we all know it. Let's continue.
That's not true.
What happened to the wall?
That's not true.
What happened to the wall at the border?
Now, when Trump said he wanted to build a wall, these same women said he was racist. Now they're saying he's wrong for not building a wall. So what you're seeing is this has nothing to do with policy, nothing to do with right or wrong. This has everything to do with black people wanting to stunt. That's all this is about. If you polled the average black person and you said, if Kamala is president, in 3 years, America will no longer exist, black folks will still vote for her. Still. If Trump builds the wall, he's racist. If he doesn't build the wall, he failed. Anytime someone gives you a lose-lose scenario, they are doing the will of Satan. Anytime someone gives you a lose-lose scenario, they are doing the will of Satan.
Hold on, wait.
He said he was building a wall and he ain't never built the wall. Trump is a liar.
It's not true that
he's a liar. Just like this nigga.
Hold on, Randy. This is what happened. That's not what happened. This is what happened. Let me tell you about the immigration bill, along with the CHIPS Act and the infrastructure bill.
This nigga be reading right here.
So this is what happened during the immigration bill.
So, you heard what she just said? She said, this man be reading. So she knows he's telling the truth. Think about this. Think about these women arguing with him and they know he's telling the truth, which should let you know this election isn't about facts. It's not about truth. It's about fulfilling the will of Satan. That's all it's about. And Satan is saying, if Kamala gets in office, you all are going to be able to shine. Satan is offering a flex. Let's continue.
First of all, they didn't introduce it until 2023. In 2021 and 2022, we already had over 10 million people cross over the border. That's number one. Number two, they sued Texas for protecting their borders and letting people in. They wanted them to open up the borders. The bill for making sure that they closed off the border, the bipartisan agreement, the reason that Republicans didn't go for it is because they was tying it as a homeland security bill in order to continue to fund Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. And so Republicans said that's a different issue. We don't want that as a whole bill. And so they killed the bill. And you know what they still did over the last 2 months? They closed off the border. You don't need a bipartisan bill in order to add more agents to the border in order to prevent people from getting in and doing the job. That's not a bipartisan agreement. You as a president of the United States of America and the vice president.
Do you know what's one of the main ways they get
No.
So you saw what Anton just told them. Now, Kamala just said in an interview that we done fixed the immigration. We done cut it way down. They didn't get that approved from Congress. Kamala Harris just said, the woman that has no power, so they say, the woman with no power said, we just stopped all the Florida illegals coming over here. It's what she said out of her own mouth. So they didn't go to Congress to get that done. So Congress didn't have to get involved. You don't need a bill to do this. They did it without the bill. So what Anton's saying is true. But when he's talking to them, they don't care about this. They don't care about money going to you. These black folks don't care about no real issues. They want communism. They want socialism. And the driving force behind America being communist is black people's unwillingness to compete. The only thing that's making communism appealing in America is the fact that black people don't want to compete. Let's continue.
No, you mentioned the bill. You mentioned the bill, and I'm giving you the insight in that you're wrong. It's something that they promoting to you, but it's not truth. It's a white lie. That means there's a little bit of truth in there, but the real details is if you actually read the bill.
Yeah,
is that what a white lie is? I thought a white lie is when a white person starts lying.
He declined the bill in order to promote his campaign.
He didn't decline the bill. He said that we don't want to continue to fund proxy wars. We had no wars, no new wars when he was president of the United States of America.
Zero.
He said we don't fight nobody.
Hold on, pause for 1 second. I said that, and TK says, he said, he's so polite. He said, we got a white person in here. I said, she's not white. Tara black girl. She's African American.
I'm just saying, man. We need to.
You see, again, you see it plain as day. Anton is spitting facts, and they can't even stay focused because they don't care. That's why I'm like, there's no sense in debating. If somebody want to debate me, I'm just going to be roast. I'm doing a roast session. I'm having fun because I know the debate is pointless. They're not going to see, because it's based in truth. Once you tell somebody the truth and it doesn't change their mind, they've already made a deal with Satan. So there's no point. You might well have fun doing it. I'm going to have fun. I'm gonna have fun.
We need to get out of our emotions and start looking at the facts, man. The facts.
Why do you feel like?
Pup daddy, pup daddy, pup daddy, pup daddy. Let's continue.
Some people think, well, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy. We had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. He didn't do nothing.
Okay, so first and foremost, Obama is lying. I mean, he's just flat out lying. His socialist policies were actually horrendous for the economy. Why didn't he talk about the 18,000 manufacturing jobs that were lost during his administration? Why also did he not mention the fact that the only reason it seemed for a moment there that the economy was doing better and unemployment was dropping was because 14.2 million people left or aged out of the workforce? The reality is that Obama had no real interest in improving the economy and promoting small business. His real intention was to fulfill his Marxist ideology by hitching industry to government, starting with the healthcare industry. The unfortunate reality is that when it comes to politics, people care less about facts and more about how a politician makes them feel. But regardless, I'm going to give you this fact. The election of Donald Trump in 2016 was a referendum on the horrendous policies of Barack Hussein Obama.
At real Donald Trump. Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Obama would like to see the history books embellish on his so-called greatness in the same way they did FDR, who was also a disaster.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Obama understands that Trump's success is a threat to Obama's make-believe legacy that the media is trying to force upon us. It's for that reason that he's caping so hard for Kamala Harris.
You notice when Chad is speaking, what is he not doing? I mean, he's doing, obviously, he's giving you the truth, but what is he not doing? He is not playing to your emotions. This is a telltale sign of the truth, because the truth, with its intent, doesn't want to emotionally manipulate you. He's giving you the facts, but he's not appealing to your emotions. He's appealing to your character. That's how we know it's the truth. We know it's a lie because the lies appeal to your emotions. They don't appeal to your character. So when Kamala's lying, she's not appealing to character, but she's putting on fake accents and saying what she did and making little faces. All that's appealing to your emotions because it's a lie. It's deception. But notice Chad just spoke the facts, and he's appealing to your character, your morality. And to me, character isn't even emotionally based. Character is principle based. But Chad clarified what Obama actually left Donald Trump. And it wasn't a thriving economy. Everybody know good and well how it was up under Obama. It was hell. They gave you a black president, folks losing their job left and right. People losing their house and everything. Stop. If y'all so communist and socialist, why did y'all bail the homeowners out? You so socialist. Why they so socialist until it came time to bail the homeowners out? That's what I thought. Let's continue.
As an American,
Aisha, let's talk about Kamala Harris.
Makes me really concerned.
Let's talk about Kamala Harris.
As a black lesbian who Donald Trump doesn't believe has genes as good as his, is he going to attempt to exterminate me
why do you believe
when he gets
Aisha?
elected? Because he's damn near said it. That's why, David. That's why.
Because
she said he's dang near said it. What does that even mean? Listen to what she just said. She said because he dang near said, okay, well, what did he say? Tell me what he said in context. She can't. He dang near said it. So that means he didn't say it. Think about this. I dang near shot my gun. I didn't shoot it. I dang near went out to eat. It means you didn't do it. Because he dang near said it, David. What does dang near even mean? I was always taught almost doesn't count, only in horseshoes and hand grenades. That's it. Let's continue.
Okay, and I'm not going to be lectured by some white man who has no idea what he's talking about and is trying to rewrite history here.
Aisha, shame on you, Aisha.
See, the Bliggities know once they bring race into the conversation, they have the leverage. This is why I talk about the spirit of non-competition is the Trojan horse for this communism in America, because the obligatives don't want to compete. So what they do is they have to dominate every space with trickery and deception, because the media is like a parasite and it feeds off of all this low vibrational obligatory behavior. I'm not going to listen to a white man lecture me. Now the media goes into a frenzy. All the obligatives' ears perk up. They don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. Let's continue.
As an American of a Donald Trump presidency, and his actual quotes are why. Because I take him seriously, and I think that he believes what he says. And that is why he is a danger and a threat to America.
Aaron, you can't have a rational discussion.
I
appreciate to talk about topics.
All right, well,
now, she allowed this woman to say all these lies, and then when he tries to speak, now she want to talk. The amount of propaganda these people have been doing over the past 8 years is criminal. These people should be in prison for at least 50 years. What they're doing is criminal.
Me to show you exactly how the mainstream media misrepresents and twists what Trump says. Here you can see CNN reporting that Trump claimed that immigrants have bad genes. And of course, that would be reprehensible if he said that. Now, let's listen to what Trump actually said by listening to the full clip, not an excerpt.
How about allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers? Many of them murdered far more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes, and we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
It is true that there are 13,000 people documented by the ICE who are illegal immigrants who have killed people. Now, bad is subjective, but hey, ChatGPT, is it true that violent criminals tend to have a different gene expression or genetic makeup than people who do not commit violent crimes?
Yes, violent criminals often show different genetic expressions, like variations in the MAOA gene, which are linked to aggression. These genetic differences can increase the likelihood of violent behavior.
I'll happily acknowledge that Trump is like a bull in a china shop. He speaks irresponsibly and in a graceless way that often offends people and is not considerate enough for a leader. But the truth matters, and what the media is reporting is often not the truth.
So, what Trump said was right. He said, I believe that a person is a murderer is in their genes. And AI agreed with him. So, again, that woman, and this is what they do, they put themselves in the position of every so-called victim, never considering that those people may not be victims. It's kind of like with the whole Palestine and Israel thing. If you notice, the rhetoric is just the Palestinians are innocent victims. Think about this. So they ain't doing nothing wrong. They ain't bothering nobody. They ain't harassing nobody. They're not committing any kind of sins. Because if they are sinning, then the wages of sin are death for everybody. Let me find a clip. Let me find a clip. Oh, let me find a clip.
The book, I imagine if I took your name out of it, took away the awards and the acclaim, took the cover off the book, the publishing house goes away, the content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist.
That reaction is actually endemic of what I'm actually writing about.
Yeah, it is.
There is no way in the world you can imagine a journalist who took the other side of that coming on here and somebody saying, if we took away the cover, if we took away the awards, I feel like I would find this in the backpack of a settler colonialist.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine that.
Yeah, that framing just wouldn't
it doesn't
come up.
exist. It's like 10 steps that need to happen before, and they aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't even there. I've been trying to process why I wasn't so insulted.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, every time I see him, he is always crying and complaining. And I question this because what type of woman is attracted to this? Like, I know she may like the fact that he's an author and famous and all this stuff, but there's no way she can really respect this man. This man is always on some TV screen crying or complaining about something. I don't believe for 1 second the Palestinians are completely innocent. I don't. It's not how the world works. This whole dynamic that one group is bad, other group is good, is Satan. Satan wants to make you believe that because someone is facing adversity, that makes them righteous, and it doesn't. I've never heard anything in the world about how great Palestinians were. Never. I've heard great things about the Japanese and their culture. I've heard great things about the Chinese. I've heard great things about people in Australia. I've heard great things about folks in America. I've heard great things about all these folks around the world, but I ain't never heard nobody say nothing great about Palestinians. Why not? Now you can say, Blanche, that's wrong. Why? If I hear great things about all of the other cultures around the world, but when it comes to Palestinians, all I hear is they victims. Oh, Leatherface is crazy, man. Hey, look. He said they stink. Oh my God. Why are y'all like this, man? Why y'all? Oh, listen, man. All I'm saying is the only thing we hear about Palestinians is that they getting terrorized by the Jews. And to me, that ain't good enough. What contribution have Palestinians made to the world? Please tell me. I don't ever hear anybody saying anything. You saying you're a professional, lifelong victim, I ain't buying it. Your whole claim to fame that you a victim? Stop. 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 Let's continue with Ta-Nehisi Crybaby Coates.
I think it's a couple things. I think, like, I love all of those awards and accolades, but they're not really me. So, okay, you take them away, it's fine. You know what I mean? I'm still me. I think also,
if he didn't get, let me tell y'all something right now. Black people lie. If Ta-Nehisi Coates didn't get the awards and accolades, he'd be saying it because he's black. Think about if he didn't get, if this guy, the crybaby, if the crybaby Ta-Nehisi Coates didn't have any awards and accolades, what do you think he would say? He would say, it's because I'm black. They're racist. So now he's saying he don't care about it. He's lying. He's a liar. Black people lie. Black people lie. The Bliggities lie.
So I have been in this in terms of the research and the writing, from, over a year now. And I guess, again, and I know I keep saying this, how much, the extent to which Palestinians have been pushed out of the frame. Understanding how much of this was a third rail. I really, I knew this was coming. Mm-hmm. And I figured at some point it was going to be a fight. I didn't know it was going to be right then, but I figured at some point it was going to be a fight.
Click the link in the bio.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, You're not fighting. You writing books. You're not fighting. You writing books and getting on TV crying. You're not fighting. What is it? What is it with y'all? Look at Trevor Noah. Weird. He's another one. He's another one. Just weak and spineless. But Ta-Nehisi Coates, you're not fighting. You're writing books and papers and essays. You're lecturing. You're not fighting anything. You're making money off of being a professional complainer. You're not fighting anything. And when you were over there, you didn't see any fighting. I guarantee it. Who was he interviewing? Think about it. If you go interview black people right now about racism in America, they will tell you a story that's unbelievable. Forget the Palestinians. Let's focus on these Negrostinians here. If you go to the average Negrostinian in America and ask them about racism, how they're being treated, they're going to tell you a story that is so far-fetched and out of this world. They'll make you believe, black folks in America will make you believe they don't have any rights, they don't have any running water, they don't have any food, and it'll all be a lie. Am I lying? If you ask black folks today how it is to be in America, they're going to paint you a picture that it's the worst place on the planet. That same person takes that information, goes back to their country, and they write about how bad the black folks got in America. But when people come over here, they see black folks cutting up. They see black folks cutting up. Tell me I'm lying. They see black folks cutting up. So no to Ta-Nehisi Coates. To Ta-Nehisi Coates. No. I could do the same thing to black folks here and get the same results. You telling me you asking some random people about how bad it is and you giving them some money probably. Tell me something good. You give them $100, yeah, they're going to make a great story. Get out of here. There's too much propaganda surrounding that Israel situation. It's too much. And I'm going to say it again. It was an inside job. They've already said that the Iron Dome, the defenses were down. They had intel, knew they were going to attack. There's too much of that going on. I ain't buying the fact, and the way the media is responding to it lets me know it's cap. Lets me know it's cap. It lets me know that it's cap. But let's continue.
You're thinking about sitting down.
Shoot. My bad.
Jadakiss, I know you do this for a living, so be gracious, but I know you're going to be honest.
Nah, I got you. I understand.
Talk to him like you on CNN, give that motherfucker business. I'm good at bringing truth, it ain't no different now. Black women magic over 40,000, double down. We want that Prezi spot in equity, ceasefire expeditiously. Native Land, that's the podcast where I get on mics and I pop at. Love blackness community, they fear that when it's you and me. Opportunity, they don't want that. DEI, they don't want that. But one thing about black people power, like hey Lamar, we come right back, make history. I'ma talk my talk till they sick of me. Okay, UNITY, you know me, my name A-Rye. You know me and how I ride. I get down for all of my black beauty, black pride. Everything we do a vibe. In a cipher going live, like an ocean ID died. We want systemic change, we don't want no cap. Unless it come with shimmies and a cane, that's a fact. So we stepping in the booth and making history. Tell that couch Kamala Harris for this democracy. Go vote. My name is Angela Rye. Pull up to the Hip Hop Awards on October 15th at 8 p.m. on BET.
As the ride getting thick, hold up.
October 15th at 8 p.m. on BET.
As the ride getting thick, what's going on? Y'all didn't tell me she was getting thick. Too bad she filled with alien babies. Oh, Angela Rye, you could have been some girl. Now you filled with octopus alien babies. Just a decadent and communist. Anyway, but that was Angela Rye spitting for y'all on the mic. And y'all know she still got it. Yeah. Rick. She got a belt across her chest, Rick. She's trying to hide that stomach, Rick. So, remember George Foreman used to fight? He used to pull his trunks up. I'd be like, man, everything is below the belt. George Foreman would have his trunks put right up under his chest. I'm like, come on, y'all. Everything is a low blow. But Angela Rye is doing that so she can hide that stomach. So she pulled this thing all the way up. She got that championship belt around her chest. She's an activist. She's a captivist. We gotta start calling people captivists. They ain't activists. They capping. They captivists. Put that down. Yeah, captivists. They lying. She ain't let them things breathe, and them things, she ain't loosen that belt, them things gonna hit the floor. She ain't loosen that belt, them things gonna hit the floor. What is this right here? What is this?
Tycoon at a
Okay, I'm gonna say that one. Hey, Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy.
Obvious ways and reasons she's going to be different.
Harris is talking about the economy a lot different than Biden.
She's different than Biden, different approach, different kind of Democratic president.
People are seeing Kamala as the change candidate.
She's become the change candidate.
She is the change candidate.
She is the change candidate. She is the change candidate.
She has suddenly become sort of physically the change candidate. I mean, her campaign talks about a new way forward.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
So Kamala Harris is telling you that she's not going to change anything. Then what is she running on? Like, think about it. What is her campaign? Joe Biden said he wouldn't change anything. Kamala is saying I wouldn't change anything. So then what are you running on? If you're not running to, because what you're saying is America's in this place that's bad, you're going to make it better. But now you're saying you wouldn't change. So which one is it? It doesn't matter. Because the character is so low in Black culture to where it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what she says or does. Black people are going to vote for her. All the people are telling you on one side, she's different. She's the change candidate. And then she tells you, I'm not changing nothing. I'm going to stay the same. So think about how all over the place the message. That's why I said you have to lie to endorse Kamala Harris. You have to just lie.
Kamala Harris, throughout her entire political career, hasn't done a single thing for Black people.
To show.
I can't really hear that guy talking. I can't really hear that guy talking. I don't like the audio on that.
Baiting and fear-mongering was a big part of her tactic tonight.
Part of Kamala's tactic.
Yes, Kamala's tactic.
Especially when she brought up the Central Park Five. I think that's a hot button issue, especially for a lot of African Americans, but she leaves out a lot of specifics to that. Like the lead prosecutor was a Democrat at the time. Back then, Donald Trump was also a Democrat. He wasn't always a Republican, and he was praised heavily in a good way for taking out that ad in the paper because a lot of people did think that they were guilty. So a lot of people that were against Trump now were once a big fan of his, and I think he was gaslit during the entire debate, and that was probably why he was so defensive. And even when he brought up the topic of race, he brought that up because she's pandering. She's using being black as a trope to get the black vote, but instead of her leaning into it, I would have liked to see her lean into the fact that, yes, I am a black woman, and this is my plan for Black America, but she clearly doesn't have a plan because she's essentially not black. But she used that as a moment to paint him as a racist. She wasn't very specific when asked certain things. She skirted around certain issues, but she knows how to pull at your heartstrings. She knows how to be dramatic in a way that will touch the heart of Americans while avoiding the hot button questions.
I'm going to say this right now. I've never seen a black woman that was conservative in any kind of forum where she's having to articulate a message or debate with someone and lose. Never. I've never seen it. Like, I don't know what it is about the black woman that is not on the left. It's a different type of, lack of a better word, different type of animal, different type of beast. You know how like Candace Owens rip people to shreds, like even people like Kim Clay, like it's something about the same way I say you never see a black Republican that's broke. It's the same way I talk about these black conservative women. It's just, I don't know, they every time they're speaking, it's just unmatched. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It might be some kind of psychology behind it. I don't know, but this is what I always see. But she pretty much broke it down, and how they would attack her is just by lying. They just start throwing lies and he did this, he said, they just start just getting emotional and all, and you gotta just leave. I don't know who she is. I got this from Unwokeism. I don't know who she is, but I don't know. She answered that question very well. I don't want to make this really a race thing. I'm just saying that I've noticed when black women are not on the left and they're more right-leaning or on either Republican or conservative, whatever, they're able to convey the message at a very high level. I'm not saying the men can't. I'm just saying a lot of times I see these women, even the women, the black women that aren't quote unquote typically like polished, they're still able to convey the message like flawlessly. I don't know what that is. I mean, it might be a gift. I don't know. I'm just saying what I've noticed. Let's continue.
Well, I would say that Gilbert Arenas.
I might save that one. I'm going to save that. Let me save it. Although I could use that as an example. Okay, I'll use it as that. Let me use it. Hey, this is what I mean, right? Listen to her. Listen to her.
Well, I would say that Gilbert Arenas he's a part of the campaign. He's a part of the campaign to make sure that, young guys today don't have to be compared to the standards. So Michael Jordan accomplished all these things. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar accomplished all these things. Shaquille O'Neal, like all of these people, they have done so much in their careers, and no one today wants to be compared to any of it. They can't handle the pressure. They can't handle the level at which they have to reach to say that, okay, well, I'm a top whatever number you want to be. If you want to be top 20, you got to get past this person. They don't want that. They want to decide what those milestones are going to be. And unfortunately, in basketball, in the history of basketball, you've got to surpass the incumbent. So LeBron's job was to worry about facing off against Kobe Bryant. The person he was supposed to be trying to get past was Kobe. He wasn't able to do that. So there was a marketing campaign and a gimmick surrounding the GOAT. And we're just going to skip over this person and create an entire campaign and debate between myself and Michael Jordan wearing the jersey number 23. That's also marketing, right? We know that this number is going to sell. So that's going to sell. This is going to shape my entire career because I'm going to be compared to Michael Jordan throughout my entire career. I'm going to start this from now. And so because of that, we have to go ahead and chip away at all of these accomplishments from the past so that that's no longer what you actually have to surpass. Okay, I don't have to get MVPs. I just have to get stats. I don't have to win rings. These are team accomplishments, even though this is a fucking team sport. So this is
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I know she's like, I know the way she articulated this point. I know what side of the aisle she's on. I know. Because you ain't even heard no men break this down like this. You ain't even heard men are more emotional about this LeBron and Jordan and Kobe thing. She laid it all out. Because LeBron, and again, remember I said they don't want to compete. So they create a scenario where you frown upon competition. You create a scenario where competition now becomes bad. So anything that goes against competition is good. But you saw what she said. They created a GOAT narrative to make LeBron this person that he isn't. LeBron represents the competitive factor of the black community. Anyway, my point is that you see how she just broke that down. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm not saying that other races of women don't do it. I'm just saying I notice it when the sisters do it. I see it all the time. When they get on any kind of forum, they chopping heads off. I'm not saying that white women don't or other women don't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying when they get in these forums, they be chopping heads off. And the room is silent. Anyway, let's continue. Miss Kat Sinclair said Candace could make a living purely promoting homemaking as a black woman. She could. Like Candace Owens act like if Candace Owens wanted to, she could. Like she could dedicate her whole thing to, try to prepare these women. Because that's the major issue is the men not being prepared, women not being prepared for what's coming up. Prepared to be able to be in a happy union with each other to fight against these evil forces, Let me go back to this guy real quick.
On the CBS Morning Show. And Tony DeCouple, the host, basically vindicates everything you wrote in the book. He engages in every lazy trope on the issue, right to exist, etc.
The content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist.
First of all, the host just lied on the show. You heard what this guy just said. The contents of that specific section. That's what the media does. Listen to him. No honor. Listen to him.
You go on the CBS Morning Show, and Tony DeCouple, the host, basically vindicates everything you wrote in the book. He engages in every lazy trope on the issue, right to exist, etc.
The content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist.
And I walk down the street and
he didn't vindicate what you wrote in the book. He specifically is talking about a section of the book that you wrote. If I peel all of your protection away, really what he's saying is your protection, your accolades, your melanin, your awards, your narratives, the media. If I peel it away, what you put in that section is similar to what an extremist would have in their backpack. That's what he says, what he told them. And that's his opinion, though. It's his opinion. Like, for example, I don't think LeBron James is even top 5. That's my opinion. But the media will tell me that I'm wrong. It's my opinion.
In Hebron, and a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion. I'm with another pastor. No. I want to. This is very, very important. He can't ride on certain roads. He can't get water in the same way that Israeli citizens who live less than a mile away from him can. And why?
Listen to what he's saying. This is what I talked about. I told you all, If you talk to black people in America and you ask them what their experience is, they're going to tell you it's the worst experience ever. A black person will tell you that they dang near are living in slavery, and then you say, okay, have a nice day. They'll walk away and get into a Benz and tell you that I'm just telling you. Notice he said can't get water in the same way. What does that even mean? What does water in the same way mean? Water coming from the sky. Like, what does that even mean? You're just talking. It just sounds good to say. Listen to him.
A place in the backpack of an extremist.
And I walk down the street in Hebron, and a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion.
Now, I'm going to ask you all a question. Do you all believe that? Do you all believe that every person has to walk down the street and profess their religion? Honestly. Do you believe every person walking down the street has to say their religion? Islam. No. He said a guy told him this. It's not true. I know it's not true. Blanche, how you know you ain't been to Palestine? You don't know what happened in God. It's cap. It's cap because it sounds stupid. That's why it's cap. Who's making him profess his religion? Who? The Israelis? Hamas? Who is making him profess his religion? Who?
I'm with another pastor. No. I want to. This is very, very important. He can't ride on certain roads. He can't get water in the same way that Israeli citizens who live less than a mile away from him can.
And why is that okay? Why is that? Why?
Janan TV says, Blanche, you can find videos of the streets in Gaza before 2023. Looks better than some parts of Detroit. Listen, you all, I meant to talk about Trump and Detroit, but I won't be able to get to it. I may do it tomorrow morning real quick. I don't know. I might wait till Monday. But this whole Detroit and Trump thing, and I'm going to just go to the facts about Detroit. Anyway, but I believe it, Janan. I believe it. Because what Ta-Nehisi Coates is saying is foolish. It sounds foolish.
Of an extremist.
And I walk down the street in Hebron, and a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion. I'm with another pastor. No. I want to. This is very, very important. He can't ride on certain roads. He can't get water in the same way that Israeli citizens who live less than a mile away from him can. And why?
What road? Okay, let me ask y'all a question. If the people in China couldn't go to a certain part of town, nobody would say anything about it. This is propaganda. What streets can he go down? Maybe the street might be blocked off. Maybe it might be an occupied military area. Maybe it could have, we don't even know. I can't, just think about what he's saying. I have to profess my religion down the street. I can't go down certain roads, and I can't get water the same way. I can make those same claims about where I'm living at now in America. I don't live by a creek, so I can't get my fresh spring water down by the creek. I can't go down this street because it's blocked up. They're doing construction. When the Peter pandemic was here, they was asking me for a mask or jab card. What are we talking about? If you ask black people today what their experience is in America, they're going to have you believe they are still in slavery. Somebody said about lived, that's why I don't trust lived experiences, because lived experience are even biased. If you don't have the character or the intelligence to process what you've experienced, I can't listen to you. Because you do know and experience, you have to have a level of cognitive ability and a level of character and honesty. Let's continue.
Why is that okay?
Why is that? Why is there no agency in this book for the Palestinians? They exist in your narrative merely as victims of the Israelis. What is their role in the lack of a
I have a very, 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 very moral compass about this. And again, perhaps it's because of my ancestry.
You see him? You saw what he did? The guy asked him, okay, so what are the Palestinians doing wrong? Your book is about the Israelis wrong. Okay, let's say Israel is wrong. It's two left shoes. Okay, they're wrong. Now, what are the Palestinians doing that's wrong? And instead of him asking the question, what does Ta-Nehisi crybaby Coates do? He goes to his melanin. He said, this is a very moral issue for me, and maybe it's because of my ancestry. So again, he doesn't want to compete. So he brings race into the room so that he can gain the advantage in the conversation. So now, as I'm talking about Palestine, I'm also talking about being obligatory. Let's continue.
Apartheid is right or it's wrong. Again, it's very hard for me to analyze.
Now he's saying apartheid is right or it's wrong. When apartheid ended in South Africa, what happened? When apartheid, I want y'all to just do me a favor when y'all get a chance. Just go look up the horrific statistics in South Africa. Go look up what happened when South Africa no longer became or no longer under apartheid. Go look at it. You see, these people never tell you what happens after they get rid of this stuff. And I'm pretty sure what's ever happened in Israel, if Israel says, okay, y'all got it, I guarantee it's going to be similar to what happened in South Africa, similar to what happened in Haiti. Wherever you look in the world, it's the same thing. Because most of these groups of people, most of them, that people want to be so free are godless. They're godless. I know it sounds bad, but they're godless.
That because I was in it.
What were you thinking in that moment?
I was a little surprised, and then I realized what was going on.
What was going on?
I was in a fight. It took me a moment to realize I was in a fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
how soft of a man? Listen, Ta-Nehisi, and my ex bought me a Ta-Nehisi Coates book about a little black oppressed boy with superpowers. I ain't even read that book. I looked at that book. I sat through that book, and man, Ta-Nehisi Coates is pathetic. This man said he was in a fight because a guy asked you one simple question. The guy didn't say you were wrong. He didn't say you're crazy. He said, okay, where is the agency for the Palestinians? What do they have to do? We all know it's two sides to every coin. And this loser says, I was in for a fight. A fight? Man, you write books. You write books and cry. You ain't fault. You ain't that fault. Stop.
Good thing was the answers to the questions were like right there at hand because I'd actually been thinking about them, and I don't know if folks actually realize all the time. Like the awards can kind of fool people actually, and they think you're just the awards. You know what I mean? Like they don't realize the amount of work that goes into, like if you're gonna come out and say apartheid, if you're gonna say genocide, that you actually really, really have considered it, you know what I mean, for a long, long time and done the homework of it.
No, it doesn't. You can study the wrong thing. Y'all do, listen, y'all do know that you can study the wrong thing. Like you can study the wrong, like you can study something that's wrong. You go, and again, CRT, heavily bent on storytelling and narratives, experiences. I don't trust people's experiences. I know people lie. People lie. If you ask your grandfather how he got to school, he gonna say, grandson, come sit down so I can tell you. You know, when I was going to school, we used to have to walk 50 miles one way to get to school. I'm like, 50 miles. When it was snowing, the snow would be 10 feet high. I say 10 feet high. And we used to walk in that snow just to get to school. When we got to the school, there was no heater inside. No heat, no heat. If you didn't bring your own food, you didn't get to eat. I didn't mean to rhyme. But my point is that when people are telling a story and they got a journalist that came from America, people almost feel obligated to give you a good story. When you got crews and cameras and equipment, people be feeling obligated to tell you something good. So if the Negrostinian, if the Palestinian is anything like a Negrostinian, this stuff is cap. Because what he said about not getting water the same way and not being able to go down a road and having to profess my religion, I don't know, man. It just seemed like cap to me.
And so it was right there. You know, it was a pop quiz, but I had studied. So
You also made a very simple point.
You didn't answer the question. You heard what he said? He said it was a pop quiz. You didn't answer the question. You bought in your race. Tom, you didn't answer the question. You bought in your race and you said, it's very moral on this. And maybe because of my ancestry, but apartheid is wrong. You didn't answer the question. You hid behind being obligatory. Ta-Nehisi jacket. Ta-Nehisi vest. He ain't even in a coat no more. Ta-Nehisi vest.
About just go there and see for yourself, right?
Yes.
When you see what's happening in Hebron, segregated streets, there's no other word but apartheid.
Yes.
Drop Site News, my old friends Ryan Grimm and Jeremy Scahill have launched a petition to try and get CBS News to send Tony DeKoppel to Hebron with a camera crew to see apartheid for himself. And just moving away from just Tony, do you think that's what's needed? That more American reporters, pundits, politicians go and see what the occupation is like with their own two eyes?
I just think we need more Palestinians telling the story.
Told you, CRT. I got a proposition for you all. Why don't y'all send me the Palestine? I'll let y'all know what's going on. Ta-Nehisi in there. Y'all send me to Palestine and I'll report back what I saw. And guess what? I'm talking to both sides. I'm talking to the Israelis and the Palestinians. I ain't talking just one. I ain't going to just one group. I'm talking to everybody. I'll get to the bottom of it. Send me over there. I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll get to the bottom of it. Cruise Missile, thank you so much for the super stick. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. P. Dot, thank you so much for the super stick. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Willie Doc, God bless you, Blanche, for your work. Stay strong. Thank you so much, Willie Doc. Appreciate it. Miss Reed, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you, Blanche. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much, Miss Reed. Mountain Woman, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for always supporting. Vintage Goods Willie. Billy Porter asked, where's the beef? Thank you, Willie. Yeah. Nah, Billy Porter, Billy want more meat. He want more meat. Theological Handyman, people will reap what they are sowing. Voted for Kamala. Amen. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it. Rick Hamstein, great show. And he is Blanche, always calling Cap. One love and God bless to you and the whole family, the whole chat family. Thank you so much. Star Baby, Zechariah 7, 9 through 10. Stay blessed. I'm going to get to these scriptures on the next slide and read all these scriptures. But thank you all so much for giving them to me. It's time to go. I love you all. Thank you so much, Angel Wings, for moderating. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rick Hamstein, for moderating. Thank you so much. And I will see you all tomorrow on Cutting Through the Culture. Hold on one second. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow on Cutting Through the Culture. I love y'all. And Instagram, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Miss Kat Sinclair, thank you. Tish, Quay, Jarrell, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Jarrell, for the, you see me a cash out? Thank you for the cash out. I think you did. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Come to the culture. Thank y'all. All right, YouTube. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.